If you're a postmenopausal woman and you have high cholesterol, this video is for you. Today I'm going to break down the relationship between cholesterol and sugar, and it's a very, very important one. And why is high cholesterol so important? Because cholesterol causes heart disease, hardening of the arteries, and blockages in your arteries, which of course leads to heart attacks and can kill you. We know that in the year 2024, 931,578 people died of heart disease. So it's a big deal. So let's talk about the relationship with sugar so you can understand how you can help to lower your cholesterol without having to disrupt your body in other areas. And let me explain. So when we eat sugar, everything from cakes and cookies and candies and processed foods and excessive amounts of pastas and breads and bagels and pizzas and cereals, those types of foods turn into sugar in your body. And when you get an excess amount of sugar, your body's trying to prevent you from becoming diabetic. So what it does, it takes that sugar from your bloodstream and carries it to your liver, and then your liver turns the extra sugar into something called triglycerides. Now, triglycerides are fat. So your body takes sugar and turns them into fats. And it wants to ultimately take that triglyceride and send it to your fat cell. And of course, that makes you gain weight and makes you overweight and fat. And obviously, you don't like that. So this is also important on that level. But more importantly, I'm talking about how high cholesterol and sugar issues leads to death. So when your body takes the extra sugar and turns it into fat, it turns it into triglycerides first. Now, the triglycerides are fats, and they don't mix with your blood. Triglycerides are fat. Your blood is a watery substance. So we know that water and oils don't mix, right? You've seen it before in your house. If you take a glass of water and you put a couple of drops of olive oil in it, the olive oil will settle to the top. They don't mix. So your body in the liver makes a different substance to be able to carry the triglycerides and store it in the fat cells. And that substance that your body makes as that taxi cab, if you would, is none other than cholesterol. So that's the relationship between sugar and cholesterol. There are other things that are involved in elevated cholesterol, but today we're talking about how sugar is related to that, and especially in postmenopausal women. And again, hang in there, I'm going to tell you why. But you got to understand why things happen. So sugar is converted into fat through triglycerides, and the liver, not only does the liver turn the sugar into triglycerides as fat, but it makes the taxi cab, which is the cholesterol. It first makes VLDL cholesterol. That's the first thing, that is the taxi cab that hooks onto the triglyceride, right? So that's pushed into your blood, and it travels through your body. Now, as the VLDL is traveling with the triglycerides in your body, it's going to different areas of your body. It's going through your different organ systems like your kidneys or your liver or your brain, and it's bringing nutrients there too. So the VLDL not only doesn't carry triglycerides, but it carries nutrients like vitamin D and vitamin E and magnesium, and all these things need to be carried on the cholesterol. And as that VLDL triglyceride combination travels in your body, as it's dumping off its different passengers, if you would, its different nutrients, it becomes IDL, intermediate dense lipoproteins. So the VLDL is a big particle, the ILDL is a medium-sized particle, and as that continues to travel around, that becomes LDL, which is a smaller particle, okay? And then you may have heard LDL is a bad cholesterol. It's not necessarily bad. It's smaller than the other ones, and because it's smaller, it can have a likelihood of sticking. But what makes it stick more, what makes the LDL stick more to your artery walls is the fact that it gets damaged while it's floating around in your blood. And it's very interesting on what damages the LDL to make it more sticky. And what causes that? Well, when there's a lot of sugar in your blood floating around next to the LDL, it actually gets attracted to the LDL. So the extra sugar also gets attracted to the LDL and it grabs on or sticks to that. We call that glycation. Glycation is just a fancy word that means your cakes and cookies and pastas and stuff like that, all those carbohydrates that turn into sugar attach to the LDL cholesterol as a consequence of having too many of the sugars in your body, okay? And so as it attaches, that makes it more sticky. It's kind of like you have maple syrup in your blood. Maple syrup is a very sticky substance, right? Imagine having that in your blood because sugar makes your blood more thick. So now the LDL is more sticky, right? And as it continues to travel through the body and the bloodstream, the sugar connects to the LDL. And now what happens is that sugar is sensitive and it causes something called oxidation. More specifically, it causes oxidative stress. Oxidation actually is a very important process that happens in the body. But when that oxidation becomes excessive, we call it oxidative stress. And it's the oxidative stress that damages the LDL particle that causes it to become very sticky, and that will eventually, the LDL will end up sticking on the arterial wall, leading to arterial sclerosis. Now, let's talk a little bit about the sugar and the cholesterol. So there was research done a few years ago, specifically postmenopausal women. It was a big study, and what they showed is that the women who were not diabetic and they were taking cholesterol medication, they had a 71% increase of the likelihood of getting diabetes from cholesterol medication. That's a lot. And what they've also found in other studies is that you do get some benefits in certain populations from cholesterol medicines, but not that much. So the likelihood of getting sugar diabetes from the cholesterol medication far outweighs the problem of the cholesterol itself leading to heart disease. If you're watching out there, what am I saying? I'm saying that you should talk to your doctor about other ways of helping to lower your cholesterol. And I've been practicing natural medicine for over 35 years, and there are a lot of phenomenal ways of helping you to lower your cholesterol levels without causing you to have a higher risk of diabetes, okay? So if you want more information about that, just DM me. And we also, my wife and I have put together these different types of webinars and master classes. And you can come to our master classes. They're free. We do them on Thursday nights on Zoom, and we explain all these different types of situations. So just click that link, share it with your friends and family, and you're going to learn so much more of simple, safe, easy ways of helping to get your body healthier. And again, cholesterol and sugar issues are a very, very bad problem because they lead to death. So this is Dr. Aaron Chadwick, part of Your Nutrition Physicians, and we'll see you guys next time. God bless you guys and stay healthy.